Hello YouTube, this is Obsessed with Videos here, and this is the multimedia update of the 11th of December 2016. Also, I've got a cold, so my voice might sound a little bit weird. I might have to I might have to sniffle a little bit in this update, but if you can deal with that, that would be fine. But if you can't, well, I don't know, but I'll show you the movie poster. And it's for this upcoming film called Live by Night. It's rated 15. It's released by Warner Brothers, and I printed it off at school on the 9th of December 2016. One week now, and it'll be more than one film poster printed off at school because it's a special occasion. It's when we break up for the Christmas holidays. And there's going to be quite a lot of videos, DVDs and Blu-Rays in this update. Probably not as much as last year, because last year was huge, but a pretty decent amount, around. There'll even be a few Blu-Rays since I started collecting Blu-Rays earlier this year. Anyway, let's just get on with the update now. There's 2 Blu-Rays in this update, which I got from Matt's Entertainment earlier this week. This one is Faster with Dwayne Johnson and Billy Bob Thornton. Movie extras for your action, extras and more. On Sony Pictures Home Entertainment. This is from 2011. It's released by CBS Films in the US, but TriStar Pictures in the UK. And you get that film movie extras thing with any Sony release at the time. And it's rated 15 in the UK, but 18 in Ireland. It's released by Sony Pictures. It's from Sony Pictures Home Entertainment, as I mentioned. And you might have noticed that there's no cinema tickets in this update. Well, that's for a reason. I was going to go to the cinema this week, but it turns out I decided that I'm going to go twice next week, which is even better. Possibly twice. But I'll definitely be going to see the film that I was going to see this week, and it's the Disney film Moana. Anyway, let's get on with this update. The next Blu-ray is Ocean's 13. I've got Ocean's 11 on and Ocean's 12 on DVD. And I've also got Ocean's 12 on video. And now I've got this on Blu-ray. So I've got all the Ocean's films, except for the original. And I also know that there's going to be a 4th one called Ocean's 8. Which I think is supposed to be another reboot, but this time it's going to be an all-female one, just like Ghostbusters. And this is a Warner release from 2007, I think. It's also a Village Roadshow film. And it's produced by Jerry Weintraub, the late great Jerry Weintraub, whose last film was The Legend of Tarzan, which I saw at the cinema. And this film's rated PG, while all the other ones were rated 12. It's got the worn hologram and it says for rental or resale. It is from 2007. And there's the disc itself. And those are the 2 Blu-rays. Now on to the 4 DVDs. And as I mentioned, there'll be a new release next week. And below, I'll leave links to my IMDB lists of the film posters and cinema tickets of this year and all time. And now onto the DVDs, as I mentioned. The first one is Rocky, the first one with Sylvester Stallone on MGM. It's got this Sony Fox kind of label, kind of cover. It has some of this Sony stuff, Sony Columbia stuff here, but at the same time it says distributed by 20th Century Fox. There are some other DVDs I know that do that really releases that I know that did this, which were Agent Cody Banks 1 and 2. And I think there's supposed to be more. It says rental or resale. This is a United Artists film as well. The film itself is from 1976, but this DVD was this packaging was 30 years later in 2006. It was sealed when I first got it, and here's the disc itself. As you can probably tell by the older certificates, this was released earlier. Yeah. It says 1998. So I can pretty much assume that this was distributed by Warner Brothers originally. The disc is from 1998, as I mentioned. So it's one of the earliest. So it's just one of the earliest discs I have. It could be the earliest, but I have another DVD from 1998, which is the 1989 Batman, which was directed by Tim Burton and starred Jack Nicholson. Now on to the next DVD, which is The Rock, with Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage and Ed Harris. This is on Hollywood Pictures. I also have another Hollywood Pictures Warner DVD, which is Crimson Tide, which I got back in May. The film's also created by the same studios. One of them is the same duo, Hollywood Pictures and Don Simpson, Joe Bruckheimer, and it's also distributed by Warner Home Video. And it's a double-sided disc. I don't know what year this disc came out, but it's possibly either the 1990s, the late 90s, or very early 2000s. And now on to the next DVD, which is The Preacher's Wife, with Denzel Washington and Whitney Houston. She needed help. What she got was a miracle, on Touchstone. The film's produced by Samuel Goldwyn Films, and it's got the hologram there, and there's That's Entertainment, Castleford receipt. Not to mention that this is... I just showed my face on camera. And it's rated U in UK and G in Ireland. I think this is by the label of the disc. This is probably when they were distributed by Warner Home Video. And yes, I think it is. I think most of the DVDs I've got on this update are distributed by Warner, except for this one, and it's a newer release that came out on July 18th, which is High Rise, a film by Ben Wheatley from the acclaimed novel by J.G. Ballard on Studio Canal. This is only a slightly older release, but it could be classed as a new release, and it's got the Facebook, Twitter and YouTube links for Studio Canal UK, which were also featured on the DVD of Robinson Crusoe, which I got back in October. And there's the disc itself. It's rated 15. It's rated 15 in the UK, but 18 in Ireland. Just like the film Faster, which I showed you earlier. And now on to the video, which is a rental of Hero and the Terror. Nothing so evil could die so quickly, with Chuck Norris. And it's released by Canon Video and distributed by Warner Home Video. This, you could say this is my first official Canon release, with their actual logo before the BVFC card and before the trailers and their own warning screen. Because when I got the other Canon Video release, which was Walker Texas Ranger, that had the Warner Home Video logo at the start instead. So that slight, only half counts, but this release officially counts. And here's the tape itself. There is a little crack there, but the tape still works fab. The tape still works good. What I mean is that the tape still works fine. When you put the tape in and it plays, it's flawless. It works absolutely fine. It works fine. And they've even got this different coloured spine, which was used a lot back in the day. I think this was released in 1988. I still really don't know what my oldest video is yet, but I do know what my most recent video is, Nanny McPhee. That's the most recent. And the latest DVD and Blu-ray ever in the world, when they stop, just never ends, because they're just going to keep on going for a very long time, never ending. So that's it for this update, and I'll get the openings to all of these done as soon as possible. So stay tuned for more videos coming up soon.